And joining us now from Kingston, Jamaica is Michael Taylor, Professor of Climate Science and Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology at the University of the West Indies. Thank you so much for being here with us. So just to start off, I mean, what are you seeing and feeling right there in Jamaica right now?
Well, I'm in Kingston, Jamaica, as you have said, and right now things are what I would call eerily quiet. So we have had some kind of intermittent rain, on and off, sometimes light, sometimes heavy over the past couple of days. But things are very quiet as we await what, as we expect to be a very, very strong storm.
Yeah, very strong. I mean, officials are calling this potentially the strongest hurricane to ever hit Jamaica. I mean, we heard earlier on the program from that one resident who said that they can't manage what's coming. I mean, folks there must be pretty anxious about all of this as this is barreling down on the island.
Absolutely. For especially small islands, a slow-moving hurricane like this one is really more than a weather event. It's what I would call some kind of psychological marathon. Our country has really been on alert for this storm for nearly a week. So schools have been closed, businesses have been half opened, families have been hunkered down and huddled, and all of this as the storm keeps changing course, stalling, moving really, really slowly. And that kind of uncertainty really is wearing people down. And so every new forecast kind of resets the anxiety levels. When this system finally hits, the population is already going to be emotionally exhausted. And afterwards, of course, we will have to deal with the kind of loss and trauma from the impact of a superstorm. It's kind of teaching us some things, that resilience has to really be about not just stronger buildings, but also supporting now kind of mental resilience of citizens before, during, and after these kinds of prolonged crises.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to highlight that human lived experience of this storm, but, you know, to take advantage of your expertise looking at this scientifically, what stands out to you about this storm? Why is it being watched so closely?
Well, I think, Melissa is now reflecting what we call the new character of storms in a warming era, in a global warming era. There are some things that stand out. Of course, the sea surface temperatures are 1 to 2 degrees above average. With this, it is feeding what we would call rapid intensification. So when I went to bed, it was a storm, and it has now gone out in a day to a category 3. And over the next day, it's expected to hit us as a category 5. And then, of course, the storm has slowed to a crawl, which means heavy rain is going to sit over our country for days. And so we're forecasting 35, 40 inches of rainfall, which is catastrophic rainfall. And that's even before talking about the wind strength. So all of these kinds of behaviors put together have been, the kind of warning as scientists we have been saying will be common as the region warms. And so even before we see the full extent of Melissa, it is very much agreeing with what the science says a storm in the new climate era will look like.
Yeah, it seems in the last, couple of years, especially, that I've been doing this here. We've been talking about every day almost breaking records in terms of these extreme weather events. How do countries like Jamaica have to change and adapt if this is indeed the new normal?
The truth is, we now have to begin to talk about resilience. And resilience now has to evolve in different ways. It's no longer just about how high we can build the seawall or how strong a roof we can put on. What we are seeing in this kind of new normal is that it has to now be about how long our societies can function under uncertainty and stress conditions. We now need to put disaster plans that account for so many other things. And with this particular storm, especially things like mental health, we have to put in infrastructure that can cope with multi-day rainfall, multi-day pummeling of high winds, power outages. We need now faster and smarter communication systems. We have to put in place economic buffers that are going to allow us to recover without crippling debt. So most of all, it's telling us that, we now need to design for a climate that is continuously changing, not the climate that we used to know.
Yeah.
If nothing else, this storm is telling us that the window for preparation is getting shorter, but the impact period is getting longer. and the consequences are manifesting themselves in varied ways. And now resilience has to cover all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, as you wait in the proverbial calm before the storm, we wish you and everyone there in Jamaica the best. Michael Taylor in Kingston, Jamaica, thank you so much for speaking with us. Appreciate it.